So that's it. That's the end of our NFT NYC journey, and there's so many things to take away from all of this. Of course, Bored Apes have dominated the conversation here. There's been so many interesting side plots to all this. Goblin Town, where do they sit in the pantheon? They're doing deals with chili brands, but apes, Ape Fest, all of this neo-Nazi controversy, it's been sitting there underneath. And of course the bear market as well. How will this fledgling NFT space survive a protracted bear market? Is there any hope? Well, get into it after these messages.
Do you know how much money you made in DeFi? Valk introduces Merlin, your institutional-grade DeFi portfolio tracker. Simply connect your wallets and access your net worth, yield earned, P&L, total debts, transaction fees for each of your historical positions in USD. From lending on Ava or Trader Joe to getting a full overview of your LP positions on Uniswap V3. Make smarter DeFi trading decisions with Merlin. Sign up now for early access before the public launch on July the 1st. Link in the description. In 2021, Ethereum traders lost over $200 million to malicious bots exploiting their trades. As DeFi continues to gain popularity, this number is expected to rise. Eden Network is a next-generation private transaction service for Ethereum, providing traders with MEV protection by submitting transactions directly to miners and away from the prying eyes of harmful bots. Using Eden Network for Ethereum transactions results in better and safer trades. Eden Network recently launched Eden Rocket RPC, which compiles some of Ethereum's fastest private transaction networks, resulting in 90% plus effective hash rate. This makes Eden Rocket RPC the fastest private transaction network available, protecting you from bots. Join the best and get started with Eden Network today and trade safer. Is your crypto sitting idle without earning you any passive income? On Nexo, you can maximize the value of your crypto in no time and earn rates of up to 17%. Their web platform and mobile app are super easy to use. You can buy crypto with your card instantly and start earning interest paid out daily. The Nexo exchange has over 300 market pairs. Every time you swap or buy crypto, you get up to 0.5% cashback that's automatically added to your wallet. If you want to finance buying a car or a trip to a faraway place, you can borrow cash by using your crypto or NFT as collateral. You don't lose your crypto, and you can get borrowing rates as low as 0% APR. Go to nexo.io and get started today. So we have to start with the cringe factor. This time last year, it seemed like NFTs completely swamped New York City. And there was probably a good reason for this. We were coming after the pandemic. People hadn't really seen each other, hadn't socialized, and this was an opportunity to express all of the excitement and energy that had come up through the NFT space together in person, IRL. And from the outside, it looked ridiculous. And there was this cringe factor papered all over everything. And to be honest, this space kind of deserved it. This year, have I seen the same? Well, there have been instances. This man proposed to someone, Michaela NFT, in a kind of will you be my plus one flex on Times Square, brought a billboard. Michaela NFT apparently had brought someone, flown them in specially for Ape Fest. We did find a picture of them together at Ape Fest, although I suspect he wasn't taking her along as a plus one. And then he had the class to go and invite somebody else on the same billboard. I mean, have I seen any cringe? There's a young man over here looking at me. I don't know what he wants. Have I seen any cringe here? Well, yes, absolutely, 100%. Just a lack of self-awareness from some people. And then some of this Goblin Town stuff I've seen, it's been interesting. It's been fun to see the vibes around Goblin Town because there's no doubt they're the same vibes you would have seen around Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's just now Bored Ape Yacht Club is seen as mainstream. It's lost its sparkle, if you like. And Goblin Town still has the fizz. Beeple was seen there. The party itself, there was the whole street was crowded, and then there was just these weird dancers just going blah, 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 blah. From the outside, it looks like cringe, but we have to remember that art is meant to be confrontational. And this is performance art. This is people trying to send a message, trying to say something. And that has been the whole message behind this RRBAYC collection. The film that dropped specifically on NFT NYC was a detailed piece, and there's no doubt that there are some disturbing things that we need to look at here.
the sentiment on the ground is that this is a smear campaign. Beyond that, though, why were they issuing this smear campaign? RR himself is a performance artist. He's a satirist. He takes big properties and does what he calls art appropriation with them. He takes the essential meaning and context of a piece of art, appropriates it, in other words, copies it, and then gives it a new context, a new meaning. And so everything that you see on Twitter is designed to support that narrative, because he's making a point about DMCAs and takedown notices and the fact that you don't own the art, or do you own the IP, you don't own the copyright. And in the middle of all of that is actually a really good idea. And of course, if you want to get your own collection sold, which is, let's be honest, what happened here, then the best way to do that is to create a whole bunch of stink around the exact projects which you are intending to satirize. And therefore you trade off all this free publicity because of that project. Now, that's not new tactics at all. That's pretty well understood in the realm of viral marketing. Now, whatever you think of Mr. Slidey Tips, he did what he was supposed to do. He did what he set out to do, which was shine a light on something that he was, I'm not going to say he was necessarily angry about, but definitely saw it was an opportunity. Something interesting about the RBAYC collection is that there's like only 6,000 of them, so where's the remaining 10,000? And some of them actually do have the disturbing traits that he was supposed to have been getting rid of. He's claiming that there will be a fee-free marketplace as well, similar to the Meebits one, so that anyone who's trading Yuga assets doesn't have to pay a fee. And there was a whole bunch of hoo-ha around the fact that he didn't set any royalty for the RBAYC collection. But the actual 10% royalty that's embedded in the smart contract is embedded in the smart contract. And if you purchase them on Looks Rare, that's what you'll pay. But hey, most of the marketplace have been taking these assets down. Nonetheless, RR doubles down on what he's been saying here. So I guess the question is, has Bored Ape Yacht Club gotten too big? Has it gotten too successful? Is it no longer interesting? And is the fact that it's been just co-opted by celebrities who don't really seem to know what it is and have now removed apes and other PFPs from their Twitter handles? Oh, the optics, oh, I'm so scared. You shouldn't have bought it if you didn't know what it was in the first place, you buffoons. And of course, I've spoken to some black creators and they said, well, why would I ever represent myself as an ape? And you've got these rappers, you've got these basketball players doing exactly that, seemingly culturally tone deaf. And I mean, the whole thing is, it's taken on a life of its own, but it's asking some important questions. And whether we or not we think it's art, it's making us feel something, whether that's outrage or disgust or just making us laugh because it's so ridiculous and played out in such a bizarre and wonderful way. So I went to the RR Bait website and yeah, there was so many instances of RR himself saying that we've beaten these DMC takedown notices before and we'll do it again, you can't get us, you can't get us. And like at some point this runs out of juice. But let's be honest here, Ryder Rips himself has made a lot of money off of this situation, and you can read that however you want. The way I chose to read it was to go to 4chan, because that's where all this stuff happens, and find this post from Anon back in the 5th of January 2022. It says, let's turn NFT into a racial slur against black people. I think we should do this for the following reasons. NFT starts with the letter N. NFTs are commonly associated with monkeys. Most NFT memes involve a monkey of some kind, and a lot of NFTs are just monkey drawings. Black people used to be traded as property. Finally, and most importantly, it would make all the people trying to get rich off of this shit, especially celebs and influencers, really, really fucking mad. Let's do it, bros. It's not been determined for real whether that author is indeed Slidey Pips himself, but it's somebody associated with it, right? And if you get outraged about all this and you allow it to get under your skin and you get mad about it, particularly on a public forum like Twitter, then you are simply playing their game. So you can just laugh about it. So people are split here. Some see this as a massive problem and this could be really bad for the space. It could be a black swan event if it comes out. I tend to lean on the other side of it. This is a marketing stunt for a NFT drop. It was a piece of performance art. It did what it was supposed to do. And I mean, I guess it will continue to go, but as a kind of statement piece, I kind of have to applaud the artist himself. But at the same time, do some homework on the artist and look at who they are, what they've said and how they've said it. And it may not be to your liking, it may not be your taste, but hey, it was effective. So what else have we learned this week? Well, legal, right? Legal is a big thing. NFTs are going to find themselves under threat from a wave of legal action as people who have lost money decide that now is the time to get mad and litigate. And beyond all of that, we have this whole entire situation around IP rights. Everyone here is trying to figure out where we go with this, how we do it. Feature.io launched their IP rights platform, but I saw a number of other conversations in which people was talking specifically about how to exploit NFT rights, how to make it possible to watch and earn, to listen and earn, and all of these things. I mean, as soon as I hear someone mention, like, we've got our own token and you'll earn that token for watching, I'm like, no, you're done. There's a new app, Fountain.app, which will allow you to listen to podcasts, but you get paid in Bitcoin for listening to them. And there's all sorts of interesting ways you can track how long somebody listened to a podcast for and what kind of engagement you got. Interesting models starting to come up. Everyone's talking about how to recontextualize the relationship between creators and artists, and nobody seems to quite have it all. One last note about the speakers at this event. There's been this general kind of undercurrent of dislike around the main event itself. Too many speakers, too little time for them to speak, and more of just like trying to extract as much money as possible. I went to the film track yesterday and it was certainly interesting, but again, some of the speakers I saw on stage, I was like, well, you're talking about a situation from last year. Where is this going? Where's the progressive? Where's the most interesting stuff? And going to the side events and getting in a lift and hearing people talking about how dumb they were to mint X and X and X project and like click on a link that they didn't understand. And this is still going on. These are people who, presumably if they're here, know what's happening, and still they ape, and still they make absurd decisions chasing that next score. So, yeah, I'm conflicted. I mean, it has been fun, don't get me wrong, but it's also just been slightly depressing seeing how little people still know. And weirdly, how many people have come up to me and said, dude, you changed my life. Like, I didn't change anybody's life. I talk about stuff, I am as buffoonish as everyone else, but yeah, you gotta do your homework, So, that's it for today. I am actually off to Ape Fest this evening for the very first time. I will try and get some footage from that because I think it will be a zoo, of course. I have no idea who's headlining. It was Future last night, so they're certainly getting some big acts in here, but the general sentiment seems to be people are bored of Bored Apes. And Goblin Town, well, that seems to have been where the party was at. I will catch you on the next one. This is Supermassive, peacing out from NFT NYC. Be good to yourselves. And that's it. Peace!